Hello, my name is Kody, and these are my three worst video games of all time. I am the assistant to Isaiah, the Floral Larry Scratcher. He asked me to make my all-time three worst video game list, and I gotta say, it was pretty hard. I played a lot of consoles from the N64 to the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, 3DS, and etc. So it was very hard to come up with like my worst three lists, but I found three at least that, as far as I'm aware, that he has. There could be more, but these are my three worst video games. So I'm gonna get right to the chase. Number three is the Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, I had this game when when the novel series came out and the movie came out. I did not like this game only because I didn't care for the series. I never really been into the series. I know it's a popular children's series. My cousin was the one that was into this game. And since I had the GameCube and he had I believe they had the PlayStation, but since they had that and I had the Nintendo stuff in the family, they used they used my GameCube as an excuse to play this game when they lived up nearby to us. But I did not care for this game. It's very gloomy, very depressing. I just don't like the fantasy genre in general. So I didn't really care too much about this game. My cousin loved it. He was into the books and everything. They liked the movie. I didn't. So I never really gave this game a fair chance. Maybe if I played it again, it could work. But this one was definitely the GameCube game that sat on my shelf the longest before I sold it off eventually. In fact, I believe it was like the first game I sold off for the GameCube. It just goes to show you how much I hated it. So all in all, I don't know. I don't really like medieval. Well, I don't like fantasy, gloomy, depressing games. Even though this certainly wasn't, but I just never really gave this game a chance. But I just don't like it. So that's number three. Number two is surprising to many people. It could be, but I'm going to pick Mario Party 1 for the N64. Now, this game is hard. I knew going into it. I did not grow up with this game. I grew up with Mario Party 2 and 3. I had Mario Parties 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I never got Mario Party. I don't know why. I remember renting it from Blockbuster, but I could never get this. I believe it ran out of print when I got 2 and 3. I just never bothered to get this game. And boy, getting it now after getting all my N64 games, I kept my N64. I sold off my GameCube. I rebought a GameCube, by the way. So I'm back in the game collecting, but I bought this at a convention, and I was flat out disappointed. The boards are tough. I'm glad that they have the 3 ratings because you don't see that anymore. But I believe there's 7 boards in this game. I got beat by easy computers, and I feel like I'm a good Mario Party player. Well, compared to Isaiah, I'm not. But in my opinion, I can beat easy computers. I could not beat easy computers on this game. Crane Game, Piranha's Plants, Pursued, any of the games that require the joystick where you rotate it, I just gave up on it. Even on easy mode, they can sweep me. So I couldn't believe it. When I finally beat the last board, I was like, thank goodness, because I couldn't believe I lost 4 boards out of the 7 total. I never seen anything like it. I don't want to re-experience it. Don't get me wrong, I love Mario Party to death. It was very innovative. I love the board layouts too. Out of all of them, I believe Luigi's my favorite, Luigi's Power Plant. But the Bowser board can get nuked because the fact that when you land on a question space and it turns every space red, that's a serious challenge, and you can drop from first to fourth in a matter of seconds. And that was me. So unfortunately, that's going to be number 2 on my list. So as much as I love Mario Party, I'm going to have to put the first game as my worst game in this list. And number 1 is kind of a niche, but I grew up in the mid-2000s, and when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out, it was like the everything. And this one is Yu-Gi-Oh! Rechef of Destruction. Now, this game is a sequel to a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards is like a spin-off of like the Battle City arc, and it's like an unconventional style of dueling where it's kind of like Pokemon, where you put a monster in attack mode, and despite it, like obviously the higher attack monsters beat the lower attack monsters, but they've added typings where like a fire monster can beat a dinosaur monster. So it's kind of like Pokemon where you have to know the type advantages, but the Sacred Cards was easy. You got to experience it. You every time you duel somebody, you raise erase your experience that much quickly. You got 3 god cards. It was fun. Now this game I thought would be so cool because my brother had the sacred cards and I did not. I wanted this game because it was a sequel. But this also was the time when Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out. And my dad was like, you can only get one game. It's going to either be Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. Of course, Kyle, my brother, went with Pokemon. I did turn down Leaf Green for this game, and boy, was I disappointed. The AI in this game is extremely tough. You start out with the worst deck, period. Anytime that you get a victory, you only go up by 1 point. So you got to do like at least 500 duels just to get a good game, or at least to bump it up. Not only that, but the cost to get the rarest cards is insane. I think like Raigeki, Dark Hole, it's like, I don't remember personally, but it's in the thousands of EXP points. And not only that, but there's also numbers where you have it, as much as it costs to buy a card, it costs that much to put it in your deck because you got a limit. So that's insane. The AI was crazy. It just jumps from 0 to 100 to 500. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I love the layout of the game. You get to go across the world. Like, there's levels in China, levels in New York City, levels in Australia, levels in Egypt. But this game was just flat out not worth it. So I still have it. I have not beaten it. I will never beat it. I don't care to beat it. So this is the worst game I've ever played by a margin. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and like and subscribe for more.